Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And today might have a double dosage of dismal Disney news. Ron DeSantis is going to have a press conference later today announcing his plans to put the smackdown on Mickey Mouse.
Right.
So this is a story coming from the New York Post. This is being recorded before the press conference, just so you know.
Yeah, and we'll probably do another one after the press conference.
So we'll probably do another one after. So if people jump in, he didn't say that during that. He didn't. Before.
Right.
All right.
You still comment on that, then we know you didn't watch the video.
Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Kiki will give you a woohoo.
Woohoo!
We do cover a lot of Disney news. We talk a lot about Disney because we have spent a lot of time in the parks. We've worked in and around the company for a number of years. We know what they're actually like. People don't like to hear it, but it's starting to come out now. The facade is kind of cracking, and the state of Florida is going to war basically with the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, in case you missed it, when they signed the bill that dissolved Reedy Creek in favor of the new district, the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, Disney went and pulled a fast one. I still don't understand how that's even legal, what they did. Basically what they did was they took power from the power from the new district before it was signed into law by putting it with themselves, so that they get to keep all the power. But that's okay. The state of Florida can pay for the roads and all that shit, but Disney gets to have ultimate authority on everything they do.
Yeah, and until the last 30 years after the last descendant of King Charles dies, right? I mean, come on.
I was like, how is this even gonna hold? I don't think it's gonna, because it's so shitty and unbelievable.
And we knew something was up because when this power transfer was being discussed, the Walt Disney Company did not seem too terribly upset by it.
Yeah, we thought it was odd. We even mentioned it in the video. We're like, well, maybe they just figure it's better to lie low and work with them. And it probably would have been overall.
Don't struggle. Let the snake eat you.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they had just not done this kind of shit. They probably would have reached some kind of mutual. I mean, they've been doing it for years. I'm sure it wouldn't have been hard to smooth it over behind the scenes, cha-ching, and get what they wanted. But they had to go do that, which made it infinitely worse.
Yeah. So this is going to be popcorn worthy entertainment for the next couple of months at least. And of course, DeSantis has his eye on the White House. He is not going to stop. And Bob Iger has a lot to prove. He is not going to stop. He said, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll sit down. I'll sit down with Ron DeSantis."
Right. Yeah, we'll go set it up. Oh, he comes to me.
He comes to me.
No one. Yeah, I'm like, this right
Kiss
there.
Mickey's ring.
Yes, basically, that is the problem. We've been saying it for years, and this is his behavior showing it. Iger has his head so far up his own ass, it's ridiculous. And they just think that they are above everyone. Hell, he flat said they are Florida. If you don't like what Disney does, you're anti-business and anti-Florida because they pay more taxes than anyone. This is the mindset of these people. Anyway. It isn't just going to be about this announcement to basically dissolve the agreement so that they, but they're also going to put in there, from my understanding, inspections on attractions and on the monorail. So also among this, the thing supposed to be announced is a call for inspections on the attractions and the monorail, which is interesting because this picture's been going around. It's been out for a couple weeks now, but this is one of the monorail support structures over in Epcot.
Yeah, so this has come up a lot lately. Disney needs to replace their monorails. They
smell like piss. I'm sorry.
They smell like piss. They break down. We know for a fact. We were actually on Monorail Blue, which had made the news.
But you remember the monorail when the piece fell off and it hit some? And then Disney said it wasn't from the monorail. It was from the monorail. A piece fell off and almost hit some guy in his car. And then the monorail was smoking, and they had to shut all the power down and tow it back to the station. And it was hot in the middle of the summer, and we had to pop the windows out of the monorail because there was no air conditioning because they turned the power off because it was smoking. Yeah, we were on that monorail.
And as they towed the smoking, sparking monorail,
it wasn't sparking at that point. It turned power off.
As they towed it back, we were all singing "Let It Go."
The little girls, they were singing "Let It Go," and our kids were freaking out.
Yeah, our kids were freaking out.
They refused to. They don't like to get on the monorail. They'll get on if they have to, but they do not want to ride the monorail.
So there were rumors that they were going to order a new fleet. They're supposed to. Several years past their use by
years.
date.
Like a decade and several years. At this
Because,
point.
Disney has actually replaced them a couple times. But yeah, I mean, Disneyland, they constantly replace the monorails, but Disney World, they don't because they have a lot of them and they're expensive.
Well, Disney World, the monorails stretch for miles and miles. They don't Disney, not like Disneyland's not like Disney World.
Yeah, and we're talking. Well, then usually what they do, I guess, what they do with the monorails, they ship them off to Vegas and they refurbish them or whatever.
They leave them in the desert.
Now leave them in a desert, but like, yeah. So they were talking in 2017, 2018, and they were old then and having problems then that they were going to get a new fleet, and then whoopsie doopsie, that just disappeared.
Well, where do you think the money came from? It probably went to the pile of money that they needed to buy Fox.
Yeah. Because it's millions and millions of dollars.
They had a lot of things that they were supposed to do. They were going to put a big theater in at Magic Kingdom, canceled it. A lot of stuff just got canceled right around the time that Iger decided to overspend on Fox.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, they probably just look at like, okay, well, if a couple of guests get killed, we just pay the family off. It's still cheaper than buying new monorails.
I don't think they look at I don't think they're going to say that. I know the doors, they say nothing against the doors, but a couple times there's been videos and pictures of the monorail doors not closing the whole way, which doesn't sound like yeah, you had that put up already.
Yeah.
Yes, that it's not closed the whole way, and that's great. You're way up above the ground, high enough they have the tow. They can get to you with a fire truck, I guess, but we got towed back because it was probably easier and cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's big enough for a kid to fall out.
Yeah. So let's go back to this. This is coming from the Post. Okay, Ron DeSantis on Monday will unveil new measures against the corporate giant Disney after it tried to kneecap his oversight of its self-governance power in the Sunshine State. The Post has learned what they tried to do is an embarrassment, a senior administration source told the Post. The narrative the left is spinning is that DeSantis was outmaneuvered, but this is far from over. He's going to have the last laugh.
Well, they are. The media is saying outmaneuvered a lot, but I'm just like, here we go, the left and the right, and the left and the right.
It's really getting old. But I mean, most media outlets were like, oh, look, Mickey's stuck at the Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Officials called Disney's tactic an illegal poison pill intended to undercut state supervision of a special tax district and argued that the secret maneuver would be subject to swift legislative reversal. Yes, because here's what's going on is like with the government Florida taking over the stuff, a lot of things like the roads and things like that were going to be paid for, the emergency services we paid for by state funds, taxpayers. Basically what's going on. And then Disney's like, sure, you can pay for all our shit, but we still get to pick everything and do everything, and you have no power here, except for paying for stuff we don't want to pay for. And that's basically how it comes across.
Yep. They got used to doing whatever they wanted for a long time.
Yeah, I've been saying that. They shouldn't have had Reedy Creek this long.
He's not afraid of this fight. Another source said the governor, a presumptive 2024 presidential candidate, is seeking to revoke other privileges the House of Mouse has enjoyed since the special task district was established in 1967. Again, to build Epcot the city, not Epcot the theme park. But
they never did build Epcot the city.
Yeah, so here's where it gets interesting. The Orlando Park's monorail and transportation systems have been exempt from external inspections along with its rides, but new rules could now make Disney subject to those regulations.
Are other parks held those regulations, I wonder?
I believe so.
Because if the other parks have to be inspected, then Disney should have to be inspected. If they're not, then I can understand why Disney shouldn't have to be, but everybody else has to be inspected usually.
So what I think they're going to do is basically throw the book at Disney and be like, fine, this is how you want to play. We're going to do everything we can do. It's like, okay, we're going to have to send state inspectors in to inspect all your rides, your monorails, your
they had
transportation.
inspectors come in before they were allowed to open. Same with Universal. Universal led the way on getting reopened, not Disney. And all of that had to be inspected by special people before they were allowed to reopen during the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's so weird about this, though, is Disney probably would have gone under if they couldn't keep the Florida parks open.
And yes, because Disney Plus was just starting and they had some money from that. Disney Plus and Magic Kingdom, Walt Disney World kept them open. Kept their money.
Yeah, because I mean the theaters were down, California was down, cruise lines were down. That was pretty much their lifeline. They borrowed a bunch of money and they were able to keep open
you see
the parks.
These dudes cheering behind him? Those are all the people that are like the Reedy Creek emergency personnel, the ones that have been years saying that Disney was saying they saved record amounts of money, but then their vehicles were broke down. They were taking people to hospital in SUVs, their own people. And one woman, her husband passed away and they weren't giving her the death benefit and they were just not treating them well, which puts guests in danger. arguably, because then they couldn't. One person, they said they couldn't get too fast enough, and she died.
Let's see. DeSantis administration officials say the company intentionally limited legally required public notices of the new agreement to shield from scrutiny and ease its passage.
Yeah, you have to publicly announce that you're doing this stuff. But you can't just do it. Like for jobs too, like if they're state run or whatever, you have to put the announcements in for them and stuff like that.
Now, the flip side of it though is,
why did anybody read it?
Why didn't anybody read what they were signing?
Would anybody think like within 12 hours that Disney was going to change the whole damn thing? I mean, you should, but and you know, they probably did, and then like they didn't do it the day before or whatever.
Who knows? The Florida legislature and Governor Ron DeSantis worked to put Disney on an even playing field, say communications chief Taryn Fenske. Disney got caught red-handed trying to undermine Florida's duly enacted legislation. And
here's the thing too: Disney is still getting to keep a special district where all the other special districts are pretty much dissolved. Theirs is under control, government control, but they're still getting a special district where other places got theirs completely removed.
Mm-hmm. The company has denied it kept the plan from view, said the changes complied with Florida's public meeting laws.
They probably put it in some weird board or rural paper, like 200 miles away that no one was going to see or care about, and that's where they probably posted it.
The free Gator News or something. That's in
or like in Georgia or something like that, because they're up Georgia's ass. So
all agreements signed between Disney and the district were appropriate and were discussed and approved in an open notice public forum.
Disney, you look really bad. You're like, you look really bad. This when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And that's what Disney is doing and has been doing, especially with the facade breaking lately. And we've been telling you Disney is not about, families and aren't the Disney difference like they keep spinning. They're about money. They're a corporation through and through. And they're going to do what they're going to do to benefit themselves, which we've been telling you.
Yeah. So this guy here is like, it's not news that the private sector has more skilled legal minds than any government. How do you think the rich avoid income taxes? Disney's
not going to win, I don't think.
Disney does have, look, we've said before, they do have some of the best lawyers on the planet.
Well, my concern is this, and this is what Christopher needs to worry about. If Disney does win, which I don't see how they can, it's a very concerning thing because it just means corporations can supersede government. It doesn't matter who we elect. It doesn't matter about, due process. It doesn't matter about democracy. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff because corporations could just buy it. And then basically do it now anyway, but
it's already happening.
I know.
It's been for years. It's just, we were blissfully unaware.
Disney's been doing it for years, but I'm just saying now they have to do it in the open.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is going to be really interesting, guys. We will do an update later today.
Well, I'm hoping they put inspections on the monorail.
Yeah, this
monorail is bad, guys. It's been needing repair for years, and Disney keeps. You know what Disney will do? They'll just shut it down and not use it anymore.
Yeah, because they'll be like, oh, we have the Skyliners, so just take those. We have buses.
Yeah,
so.
They'll do buses and the ferries. They won't even probably use the monorail anymore. Is what they'll probably do. They'll probably let it sit there and go to pot.
Just rot. You see like graffiti on the...
Give it time, the Skyliners will probably be in the same situation.
Oh, yeah. Skyliners, actually, I don't think are going to last as long as the monorails did. So, I don't know, guys. They could put all that money, the Skyliner money, they could put toward new monorails.
I think that's part of the money went. They decided to do Skyliner, which I think personally is ugly as heck. I don't like it. I've ridden it. It's okay. I think it takes a long time. I know you walked. We even did an experiment. Which is faster, taking the Skyliner from Epcot to Hollywood Studios or just walking the walking path from Epcot to Hollywood Studios, which a lot of people don't even know exists. It's like a good 20-minute walk or whatever. We like to walk it. We took both. And you guys go out there before we did, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it doesn't just take you to Epcot. No, you have to go
Caribbean Beach.
You have to go clear down to the Riviera, and then the station by Caribbean Beach. Then you have to get on another Skyliner to come the whole way back in, and then take that one to Hollywood Studios. So it's not even. I don't think it's even faster.
I think Disney started to realize the money wasn't infinite, and then the pandemic happened, and all the plans that they have. They were basically taking all the money they needed to reinvest in infrastructure in the parks, plowing it into entertainment, because that's Bob Iger's top priority is movies. That's his thing, movies and IP. And like you said, probably took that budget that was earmarked for maintenance in the parks and put it toward the Fox deal, which is worthless. And now the pandemic happened, and they've had a bunch of box office bombs, and they don't have the money to fix the stuff. So,
Well, I think it's taking Epcot so long to get done. They had to cancel half the stuff for it.
Yeah, they just keep dragging it. That's why I said, like, you know, they can announce that they're doing another park, doesn't mean they're going to get it done anytime soon.
No.
Because
But we're $17 billion. We're going to invest in Florida. Where are you going to get it from, Bob?
Where are you going to get it from? Yeah, right? All right, so we got to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We will talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.